Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. So we're just going to take a few moments just let you guys just hit that like and share button. Hit that like and share button. We really appreciate it. But first of all, I want to say good morning again and welcome to another podcast of episode Marriage on Purpose. And we're your hosts, Jerry and Rhonda Jackson, and we're so excited about this conversation we're about to have today with this couple, this opportunity to hear from them, to grasp the love and the oneness that they show and provide and demonstrate throughout their lives.
Yeah. And so, good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. But this morning we want to bring on a couple that we're so honored to have, and it's Latoya and Anthony Bogard. We have them with us today, and we want to thank them both for being on. We're going to bring them on up here, okay? And we just want to say hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good people.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. They're going to be sharing, some experience, some lessons they learned, and some wisdom they gained throughout their lives, throughout their marriage. Our prayer is that what they share today will encourage, will challenge, and strengthen every married couple and every person preparing for marriage.
Mm-hmm. So we have questions for the Bogards.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
And y'all, you know what? We thrive on keeping everything honest, open, and transparent. And so that other couples, we share on these lives because we know that every marriage, there's no such thing as a perfect marriage, and every marriage has its ups and downs. So we like to just share with you, through these ups and downs so everybody would know what they're getting into when they get into it, or if you're in it already, that you're not the only one that's going through anything, right? So we're going to get into it.
Yeah, before we get into that, I just wanted to acknowledge this couple here. We've been knowing them for so long.
Yeah.
And we just really love, their enthusiasm. We love the way they work together as a team.
Yes.
And how they really have love for themselves, each other, their family, their church family, and just for people in general. How they love to support and just really strive to be awesome people.
Yeah.
Love them so much.
And it's been so long.
Yes.
I remember when Toya had her a baby, her second baby, the baby boy, and she just shared with me that he's 21. Oh my God. Those kids are getting old.
We're getting young.
Yeah. So you want to share with us, and tell us, your marriage journey. How long have you two been married?
This July will make 22 years.
Wow,
that is long.
That's
22
good.
years.
Okay, 22 years. I figure, I guess so. Yeah, 2021. So can you share with us, how did you guys meet?
Sure. Go ahead. You want to share? You want me to share?
Okay, well you can
Well,
give
we
your
want to hear
first.
from both of you, so.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, you can give your version of it.
Okay.
So we originally how we met was we bumped into each other. We were in church, and it was time for offering, and we were walking around to do offering, and she's coming down the aisle, the aisle she sat in, and I'm coming up the walking aisle, the main aisle, and we kind of turned our heads, but we bumped into each other, and I stepped on her toe. And when I stepped on her toe, the nice, kind woman that she is today, she was still becoming that at that time. So she let me know how she felt about me stepping on her toe.
Okay.
And it was a few people around to hear it, and they laughed. So I did my best to come up with something to, rebut and retort what she said. She I think I called her 6 o'clock because she was so small framed at the time. and I called her 6 o'clock, and she called me 3:45. So,
3:45.
but that was how we initially bumped into each other. But then
Okay.
after that, we wound up being in a lot of the same circles, and from there, that's kind of how we began to know each other, and get closer, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
So I see it's a blessing in giving and walking up to that offering basket.
Yeah. my toes pay the price though.
Right. So Toya, what's your story?
But no, I mean it's very. That was the initial like contact. I was newly saved. I had just came to the church, so I wasn't there long. So I was still being regenerated, right? And so that was just my first encounter with him. And like he said, in years or a couple of years went by, and then we just ended up in the same environment, same circle, same circle of friends or whatever. And so that's where the relationship, and I'm not going to necessarily say relationship, but that's where the connection began to happen in that time frame. And then later on down the line, we began to talk. We talked more at our women's conference, and that's kind of where our relationship began to blossom into.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember those women conferences.
So
Yeah.
who pursued who?
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, listen, hey, how you doing? My name's Toya.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
I just, it was just like, just have a conversation, and that's really how it started.
And that's how it started.
That's literally how it started. We had a conversation,
and it was funny because that initial conversation, we started talking, I think probably 11 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And that went to what? Like
the next morning.
It was like 6
Wow.
a.m.
6 a.m.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that sounds a little
hey.
familiar, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, back then we didn't have DMs, but I probably would have slid in his DM.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But back then it was, slide your friend a note and go give it to him.
Okay. I got you.
That is awesome. That is awesome, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you look at your marriage today, what's one area you proud you've grown in, and what pushed you to that growth? If I can ask that question.
Sure. I think we've grown in a couple of different things, but we're growing in communication.
Okay.
And togetherness. We love doing things together, that's just kind of our thing. And I think over these 22 years, marriage has seasons, right? And they have ebbs and flows. And so you just begin to learn to embrace each season and ask God, what am I to learn in each of these seasons that can help to take us to the next level? And so I think being more unified will be one of the things that we learned, and especially me learning, because what people don't realize is, and I'm gonna let my husband talk, when you get together, that's the beginning of becoming one. That's the start of it. You don't become one immediately. It takes time. So I would say that
process. Yeah.
I was gonna say, for me, what I've learned is selflessness.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I was selfless, but the longer the relationship went on, the marriage went on, I began to see things and realize that, as much as I thought I was giving, or as much as I was giving in my own way, I realized there was still some selfishness there.
Yeah.
And then I've had to learn that. So just through my own maturation, as well as, as I grew closer to, to God, and, help I began to just see a mirror.
Yeah. That's what marriage is. Yeah.
Yeah. Marriage is definitely a mirror. You really see yourself in that, because you know how you see how you respond to different situations.
Yes.
Because you're not just thinking about yourself, but you have someone else that's involved in that situation. So now is you can't be so selfish that it's all about you.
Yeah.
It's about this other person you have in your life as well. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I can relate to what Anthony was saying too, that selflessness, because as much as you try to do for others, you will see yourself as being, selfless. But then when you get married, you still, you still had that single mindset. And I say I can relate because I'm still learning how to consider my husband, and it takes a minute,
It's
like
an ongoing process.
yeah,
It's a
that's what
process.
Toya was saying. It's a process, exactly. And so yeah, we learning. Yes.
You are not alone.
Right. I know, right?
Really.
So what would you guys say? What boundaries would you say that you had to build to protect your union, your marriage from burnout?
I would say there's a few things, but one of the main things was keeping it fun,
Oh,
and not just looking at my wife as my partner or roommate or
mhm,
a bill or a check or a nurse or something like that, but um, with those things,
Mhm.
also my teammate, my buddy, we have fun together. It's very important that whether it's joking in the house or going somewhere fun, but just seeing each other in that light, seeing like I can have fun with my wife and looking and having she looking at me the same way, like
yeah,
being intentional about having fun
mm,
together.
that's good.
Yeah.
And I would say not to take things so serious, because
Okay.
I feel like life is already serious enough, it's hard enough. And so, being able to laugh at each other, laugh with each other, just like he said, and just having a teammate, because you think about it, you deal with a teammate much different than you deal with maybe a roommate, because I feel
Mhm,
like a teammate, you are on this team and you're trying to reach a common goal and you try to
mhm,
have fun. When you think about a baseball team, they have
yeah,
fun with each other. And so I would say just not taking ourselves so seriously.
And then
that's
like she said with that teammate thing, versus roommate, it's like, as a teammate, we're working together to accomplish a common goal versus
mhm,
I've had a roommate before and it was like, I did my part, where's your part, and that,
yeah. Wow.
so
Right. Yeah. And
Hmm.
what I love about the what you said earlier is the intentionality.
mhm.
And I think that's what's missing from a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
They're not intentional about going through because they focus so much on the wedding
Mhm.
and not necessarily on the marriage.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you have to be intentional with your marriage so you can grow together as one. It's like you say,
Yeah.
you're still coming together as one, but you have to be intentional with that.
Dating. Yeah. Having
And
fun.
that's dating. That's sharing. Being vulnerable with one another, talking, have communicating, and and you two of you have decided to do that, and that's what strengthened the both of you all
Yes.
together
Hmm.
because you're intentional about becoming one. You're intentional about learning one another and
Yeah.
Mhm.
understanding one another.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that because they still have that single mindset,
Yeah.
or they think, well, you didn't do this, so I'm not going to do
Yeah.
that,
Keeping
Right.
score.
or
Mhm.
keeping score.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
Yeah.
all are being intentional about loving one
Hmm.
another, about understanding one another. And that doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes,
Hmm.
Right.
but you're there to understand why you made a mistake, which is really not a mistake. It's something
A
that you
lesson
learn, a
learned.
lesson
Yeah.
learned.
Hmm. Part of
So
the
and
journey.
you're
Yeah.
willing to develop and go forward from that and not
Yeah.
let it distract you from the common goal, which is becoming one.
Yeah.
So
And continue to date one another. And that's really good when couples like to be around one another and,
Oh yeah.
just go out and have fun. Just have
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
yeah, it's party. Hey.
Yeah. So like to piggyback on what you were saying, Jerry, you was talking about uh uh so we say that we have wins and then we have lessons.
Hmm.
Right.
We don't say losses
Right.
because
Yeah.
that situation or whatever we may have had to deal with, we take from it and learn from it, and then it makes us that much more better
Yeah.
going forward. Put us
Hmm.
in a better position to deal with it going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I told them, the people, that they're going to get some great wisdom
Ah,
and some great knowledge from this
You
couple.
did. You did. You
I'm
warned them.
telling
Yeah.
you, I warned you.
Hmm.
This couple here, they have some great wisdom.
Yes.
Awesome.
Glory to God.
So, what's a lesson you learned from your own family goods, or from your own family, good or bad, that shaped how you show up for your spouse and your parents,
Mm.
As a
or
spouse.
as a spouse
Yeah.
and parents,
Yeah.
how you show up?
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna be really transparent with that one. So I grew up in a household. I I think I've been married the longest in my family. Um,
Mm.
so between my mom, my grandmother, my uncles, and all of that. And so I had family, but I did not, we were close, but I don't think we were close knit. I was the only child for a long time. And so it was always me. So when you were talking about the
Hmm.
selfishness, yeah, I kind of grew up as an only child for a long time. And so that could breed a little bit of selfishness, right? And
Hmm.
I was a spoiled somebody growing up. I mean, let's keep it a buck. But one thing that when I came into marriage, my husband really stressed the importance of pouring into the kids when they were smaller. Because when we got married, they were like 7 years old, and of course Daniel was a newborn, and that was not something that I saw in my family because we were together, but just that unified and just really pouring into your children like that, because I didn't really experience that like that. My grandmother poured into me, but I felt like it was more so because of the circumstances around my parents. But Anthony would always keep the kids at the forefront. And I was working, I was a hairstylist, so I had my daughter in the salon. That's where she learned how to walk. I'm out late, she in the shop. She was a
Yeah.
shop baby, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
I lived that life, which you would probably consider, I was hustling, as a
Hmm.
single mom. And so when we got married, Anthony was, very intentional about making sure he spent time with the kids and poured into the kids and this, that, and the other. And I'm trying to chase the next hair show and the next this and the next that and the next whatever. And so that is definitely something that I feel like I wish I had of poured more into them when they were smaller. Not that I didn't, but just to the magnitude that he was kind of sharing, because I think that would have had a greater impact on them. And that was kind of just, it was just kind of a pattern, I want to say, of when I was younger. And
Yeah.
so that was for me, that was a lesson for me.
Wow.
And for me, it was kind of along those same lines. I growing up in my family, in my household, we did have a close knit family. We
Okay.
that nucleus was. Now I do wish that my extended family was a little bit closer, but in my household, we had a very close knit family, and just carrying that on through, now that I raising a family, that was very important to me. So it was spending time with them. The kids call today, even though they're grown, and say, thank you for those Bible stories. Thank you for
Wow.
acting out those Bible scenes and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
that was something that we were growing into.
Hmm.
So like she said, I was a little more like, hey, let's pay attention to this and things like that in that sense. So yeah, that was what I learned from my family and brought into today.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, but what I like to do is give you guys kudos to something, because Toya, you talked about how you grew up, and you necessarily wasn't in that vein where you were being able to pour into or getting poured into. And Anthony, you were in the vein where you were always pouring in with your family. But by the two of you come together and you're on two different planes, you didn't let that cause any major conflict in your life
Mhm.
because you grew up one way and you grew up another way. But you learn how to bring that together and work together where it can blossom the way it's blossomed now with the two kids that you have and the love that they have for both of you all and the thanks that they give both of you all for what you did. So you didn't allow the way you grew up and not having certain things and Anthony the way you grew up, you didn't allow that to affect how the two of you parented.
And we have 4 children. Don't
Right.
forget.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
3 girls and a boy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you didn't let that affect how you parented. It didn't just
Yeah.
it didn't affect how you learn how to love one another and go through those different stages and conflicts and challenges and still be able to grow.
Yeah.
So I like to commend the both of you guys for that.
Yeah, and I always admired how close the children you were with the children, especially the older girls. And I thought that was a really nice. So, yeah,
And they're still close today.
I could tell. I could tell because
Yeah.
I used to gosh, what's the one name that went to that's in near Dalton or
Oh, Angelique.
Angelique, yeah. And she was like, yeah, my mom this and my mom that. So yeah. So I
That's
could
Angelique.
tell
That's
that you all
definitely
were,
Angelique.
yeah. Yeah. So I could tell that you all were really close. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
that was a
good.
learning lesson too. And that just goes back to what I was talking about. Sometimes I think couples miss the part of when the two become one, that takes time.
Yep.
The two becoming one. It's solidified at the altar, but you got to walk that thing out
Mm-hmm.
because the two cannot become one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be intentional on becoming one and merging those things together.
Yeah. All the moving parts.
And
All
that's
the
Yeah.
good. And then you're merging into one, but yet you're still maintaining your individuality, how
Mhm.
both you all
Yeah.
Your
operate.
Yeah.
uniqueness. Yeah.
So that's the good thing about it as well. And also that people don't may not know that this it's a blended family.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So
We should
that's
say that. Yeah.
so that's even more,
Yeah.
you know, the you think that you all are being able to blend the two families
Yes.
together
Mm-hmm.
and really, be able to sustain that, to
Mhm.
love and not waver away from
Yeah.
who
One
loves who,
another. Yeah.
one another,
Yeah.
or have that to be a
Mm-hmm.
conflict in your relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's very good. So now with Toya and Anthony, now working, you have careers and your church family, your church life, your family life. How do you two stay emotionally connected to one another in the midst of all these moving parts? How do y'all stay connected? Not so much, like from you date, we got that part, but how do you stay emotionally connected?
Well, but I know you said not that part, but that is one of the huge ways we do
Okay.
stay emotionally connected because we
Mhm.
are intentional about, having check-ins with one another, having conversations with one another. And
Okay.
there
Yeah.
may be times where the outside will kind of bubble up to the top and it seems like it's taking priority. But even in those times, whether we recognize it and pause or whether we notice each other getting a little short, for no, or oh, where's this coming from, and things like
Right.
that. And so we put intentionality into having check-ins, talking with one another, asking, how are you feeling, or
That's it right there. Yeah.
what's on your heart,
Yeah.
and that's really it. And then we set weekly date nights
Hmm.
that we go on, and on those date nights, we have deeper conversations.
Okay.
Sometimes
Okay.
it's silly, but sometimes it's deeper conversations.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's a trip, sometimes it's a expensive restaurant, sometimes it's at the park, or
Hmm.
sometimes it's in the backyard. But we have a set aside time because we make so many things in life priority, and we
Yeah.
just thought it important to make each other a priority as
Yeah.
well.
That's
Very
Like
good.
good.
you have all these things that are due and all that you're vying for your time. And we just put a focus on just as important as those are. I want to let you know you're far more important. So I
Come
can
on.
pause for this. I can pause for that. I can do things for this person for this holiday. I don't want to put, my wife, low down on the list, like, okay, I'm finished with everything. Um, I got a little bit of me left, and
Yeah.
Right. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's good.
Yeah. So, what was the question?
With all the different moving parts in your life,
Yes.
career,
Okay.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like he said, date nights are intentional, and we really are intentional about date nights to the point where our friends or our kids, they was like, "Ooh, Mama and Daddy, y'all on a date?" Yes, we are. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Because we found that the date nights, whether they're grandiose or small, is our time that we came together to have those conversations.
Hmm.
Because again, marriage, when you've been married the length of time we've been married, life moves fast,
Hmm.
right? And so as empty nesters, not that we didn't have a problem prioritizing ourselves with the kids, because sometimes when we had Daniel, we would still go on a date night, you know what I'm saying? But now that we are empty nesters, we now really want to be more intentional, because it's easy to just kind of go and do whatever we're doing. So I feel like emotionally, that's part of our emotional fuel tank, right?
Yeah.
And then the conversations, as of late, I've been curating messages to make sure that I send to him on a weekly, like 2 times out of the week. One just to really speak over him, and then the other one just to encourage him. And I just ask the Holy Spirit to let me know when to send those, because I don't know what he's dealing with out there, right?
Yeah.
And so that is just my way of making sure that I am checking in with him and making sure his emotional is good,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
The emotional check in.
That,
That's good.
that's awesome. Before I ask this question here, I just thought about a key word that Anthony you said, and we've been talking about this word for 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and that word is pause.
Hmm.
Oh,
And that is, I mean, when you said that, it clicked, it
yeah,
hit, because I think that's what a lot of us don't take the time to just pause and
Mm-hmm.
sit back and reflect. Say, hey,
Yeah.
where are we going with this?
yeah,
Am I
Hmm.
really hearing what this person is saying to me, or am I delivering what they need to hear
yeah,
correctly?
Hmm.
But you're taking that pause
Yeah.
in your life, in your conversation, in your intentionality with one another to strengthen it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't take that pause; they just run with it and go
Yeah.
and,
with it, and really
yeah.
don't. And
X.
assuming that a person feels this way, or assuming that a
Yeah.
person did this, or assuming that a person did that, opposed to just pausing
Yeah.
to really reflect on what really happening, what's going on,
Right.
how this person is feeling, and how they're receiving things.
Hmm.
So I love that word pause. That was so important to me when you
Yeah.
said that. It just hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's good because when you don't pause, it's like you're dating or you think that you're married to the same person that you married 20 years ago, when
that's
that
true.
person has totally evolved, but you don't even realize that she has or they have evolved because you're not taking that time to do that emotional check in or to pause and reflect on how far you guys have actually come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's
Um,
really good.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the question I have now is like, what sacrifices has each of you made that the other may not even fully realize or appreciate yet?
Mm.
So I saw that question, and I felt like, um here's my take on that. I think that every married couple, if you're in a healthy marriage, there are sacrifices. We know that, right? But
Mhm.
I think more importantly for me was making sure I recognize the sacrifices that my husband has made and acknowledge those things,
Mhm.
right? And not really focus on my sacrifices. And let me tell you why. And you said we can be honest and open and
Oh yeah.
transparent. And so I think because when you start focusing on what you've done, what you've given,
Mhm.
then I feel like if you then you can start telling yourself you're not getting something in return,
Mm.
right? And then it sets you up for, just all these different emotional feelings, and it can open a door. But I in this season, my husband and I are we're kind of in a resetting season. We're resetting because you have to reset in marriage. Contrary to popular belief, you have to reset, you have to revisit, you have to talk about things that you may have swept under the rug and still have not truly dealt with. And so what I choose to do is focus on the sacrifices he made and acknowledge those. Babe, thank you for, like, right now he takes me to work every morning. Thank you for getting up every morning and taking me to work so I don't have to drive in traffic, right? Thank you for taking the kids when I had to work late at the salon, right? And vice versa. So I feel like when I focus on that and we do that to each other, then gratitude and gratefulness becomes the focus, right? But if I start focusing on, because I sacrificed this and I gave my career up for this, when you get into that vein, I feel like it begins to set up a comparison situation. So I just want to look at it a little differently and really recognize the things that he has done, that he sacrificed for our marriage, and then allow him to recognize the things that I've done. And even if he doesn't recognize them, okay, Lord, I did it for the good of us and our marriage.
Yep.
I hope that made sense.
Yeah,
It did. That was
really
powerful.
Did. Yeah. Yeah.
I to that question, I was hoping that she recognizes, with what I have to do, just as me having to do what I have to do, that I still made time to, do things for her, out of love, out of, life is hard. Let me, ease your loads however I can. Just so doing what I can to help to ease her load.
Yeah.
I hoped that she recognized that. So I agree with what Latoya said about, not focusing so much on, making a list and comparing it and things like that, because I don't even think that's where you were coming from. But to that point, I did hope that was recognized, and because it is a lot just to, it is a lot just to be.
Yeah.
Now to go be more for someone else, that takes a little bit more out of you. So I did hope that was recognized, but she told me it is.
And I didn't think you meant it any. I was just saying that when you said it made me, because God has just been challenging me to think about things in a different way, right? And so, like I said, we're in a resetting, and I'm choosing not to focus so much on my sacrifice, but really make sure I'm recognizing the pour that he has given into our marriage. And hopefully the advice, like he said, he recognized the sacrifice that I've made to pour into our marriage.
Wow. Yeah, well, the thing is too, you're doing it is not a reciprocal thing. It's not something you doing expecting something back.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's the powerful thing of it, because a lot of couples do things and then they expect something back. So if we do things and not expect anything back, that's truly showing our love for that person.
Yeah.
Because when we start getting in that situation, like you said, that we start expecting something back, now you bring up all kind of doors opening, all kind of things that, well, I can get this from someplace else, and this person don't care about me because I'm doing this or doing that. But you're doing it based on, this is what I love to do for this man. This is what I love to do for this woman. So regardless whether she says something, I mean, you would love it if she does, but regardless if she does it or he does not, it doesn't matter, because I'm doing this because I love you. Whether you reciprocate it back to me or not. And that's the thing that, like you said, when you start getting to that point where you're looking for them to
Keeping
respond
score,
back
yeah.
to you. Well, I did this and you did. Now you're keeping score.
Mhm.
And that's a
That's
dangerous
never- yeah.
thing when you started keeping score,
Yeah.
because it is
Because somebody got to win, one person got to lose.
Yeah. Exactly.
Definitely don't want to keep score. So now,
Go ahead.
if you could go back to, let's say, year one of your marriage and whisper one piece of wisdom to your younger self, what would it be and why?
For me, I know y'all probably think this is off topic, but for me, it would be invest.
Okay. No.
Yeah, and
Come on.
invest in the marriage, yes, but I'm talking about investing money.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
For me, that's
Yeah.
I'm in the financial industry now,
Okay.
and I'm involved in investments and things. So when I look at, what I'm doing for people, or when I see, over time what it looks like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's never too late, but at the same
Right.
time, if I had taken heed
But
back
year
then,
one, it would have been there. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah. I get
that's
it.
what it'll be for me.
Okay.
Year one, I'll be like, simmer down, girl. Simmer down. Simmer down.
Why you say
Simmer
that?
down. Because, I would tell her, listen, things are not as bad as they appear to be.
Okay.
You're on a journey and you're together. So be on the journey and be on the journey together.
Okay.
Because I had never been, this was my first marriage. And so I say that I was learning how to be a wife, and I was learning how to be in this relationship, and I was a single mom, so single, doing what I wanted to do, all the kind of things. And so now when you come into this environment where now you have to submit, you have to answer to, or then life starts happening, but you like, oh, but I thought, you kind of felt, I'm gonna tell you, I felt like, you feel like a little bit of a rescue. You think when you get married, it's a little bit of a rescue. I mean, that's the fairy tale part of it.
Right.
And so when life starts happening, you go into this space of, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And so when I said simmer down, girl, I would tell her to simmer down. And when you all go through life together, you're going to come out of it on that side together. And you're going to be better for it, and you're going to be stronger for it. And keep trusting God through the process. So.
Yeah.
I'd have been back there. I'd have been back there with her telling her to simmer down.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Like you've been telling her that.
Yeah.
Right. Been telling me day one, simmer down.
But
I'm getting it though. I'm getting it 22 years later. I'm getting it.
Right.
But you're getting it though. That's all that
You're
matters.
getting it.
But it's just so awesome, Toya, because a lot of things that you're saying. I was reading a book today, and what you just mentioned was in that book.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And it just hit me when you said it. How you just got married, you just think, oh, I'm gonna be rescued and this and that. And that is so not true. It is so not true.
You may not say it up front, but it be in the back of your mind, way in the back of your mind somewhere. Especially when you came from what I came from.
Right, correct.
Single mom, and I'm like, please help me, please.
Right.
I got some help.
Yeah, but just understanding that and still knowing that there's a process that you have to go through. So, but what you were saying is just really what I just read today.
Wow.
Which I'm like, wow, I just read this. But it was wild. But this question here, what's something this question here? Woo,
he want to answer it
I want to
himself.
answer. I want to answer. But what's something your spouse does that drives you crazy, but also makes you love them even more? Because
I'll let Mr. Bogard go
No,
first.
you go. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say.
I gotta think of what is that?
So listen. So I told you we can be married. How many years? 22,
22.
right?
Mhm.
Baby. So I've been cooking for him a long time, right?
Okay.
But and don't like to cook. Don't want no parts of the
I
kitchen. He'll clean, but he don't like to cook.
Okay.
But when I'm cooking, because I like him in the kitchen when I'm cooking, but
Mhm.
baby, he be like, what you putting in there? I don't eat that. I don't like that. Baby, I don't like when you put that. Sir, sir, sir. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Thank you, sir. I've been cooking for you for how long?
Right.
And you love the outcome, but
Right.
you seeing the process.
love
Uh-huh.
the outcome.
Now you over there. What is that? How many onions? Baby, that's too much salt. You shouldn't put that much salt in there.
I love the
I'll
outcome.
be like, you got something to do. Go upstairs.
But she loves me coming
But
in the
then he
kitchen.
go upstairs. I'll be like, well, why is you upstairs and I'm down here? So it's just one of those. But I want you in the kitchen, but I want you in the kitchen quiet.
Be quiet.
Just
Just
look.
clean up.
Okay. So since she said quiet, so well, because of our careers now, we don't get to watch TV as much as we used to or would want to, or movies. However, when we are watching a movie, I can't get her to stop talking while I'm trying to watch the movie. She's talking, she's giving commentary, she's asking all these questions, and then after she see a part of the movie, she'll ask me a question and I'll answer it. And then she'll say, now what kind of sense did that make? And then she'll look at me for 30 minutes waiting for me to respond. And I'm just trying to ignore and like, maybe if she see I'm not paying attention, she'll just.
Right.
However, when I finally get a chance to be like, I do got a chance to watch a movie. I do got a chance to kick back. And now I'm watching a movie, but I'm by myself. Now I wish she was right there talking about the movie. So that's this little weird thing we do. She want me in the kitchen while she's cooking, but she want me out because I'm talking.
Yeah.
I want her to be quiet while I'm watching the movie, and then when she's not around, I'm like, I wish she was here. 'Cause I know
Right.
she would ask me about that part.
Exactly.
Right.
She would
I
ask me
get
about
what
that
you
part.
said with the movie.
Yes, with the movie.
Well, no, I just don't like stupid movies. I cannot sit and watch something like Finding Nemo, that fish didn't die and all that body of water. Anyway, stuff like that. I just don't like watching things that don't make sense. And then so I'd rather not watch it at all. If I'm not learning anything, I'm not watching.
She's the type of person that looks at a movie where she already, you know how you read a book and you kind of know what the end is gonna be before you get to the end of the movie or the end of the book. You kind of know, oh, this is gonna happen. I'm like,
And see, so we don't even need to watch it because it's stupid. Because all the movies end like this.
like watch the movie. I mean,
Just watch.
if it ends that
Just
way, it
enjoy
ends that
it.
way.
So Rhonda, you be analyzing.
Because it's just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time.
She analyze the whole script. Oh no, I know what they finna do. This is finna. I be like, look, can we just watch the movie?
No.
You know?
I mean, let me figure it out.
Let me be naive.
Right. Yeah, this. Oh, I know what he finna do. He finna kiss her. I'm like, you know what?
Oh, wow.
I mean, just,
Like they're gonna kiss and
they finna go to
they miss each
bed.
other.
I mean, like, come on. I mean, like,
Just let it play out. Let me see it play out.
So Jerry, you gotta get her a book,
I'm not
and
watching
then you
it.
go watch a movie.
Yeah. Okay, so now wait. Let's get back to
yes.
their interview. Now, okay, so now this is the moment where you either can point at your spouse or raise your hand if it's you. Okay, we're gonna ask questions, and if it's you, just raise your hand. If it's your spouse, point to your spouse. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Mhm.
Okay. So who's always late? You got. Hey, raise your hand high, Toy.
But I'm doing better.
No,
Okay.
it's just who's always late.
Oh,
Who wakes up first?
Oh wow. Okay. And when dining out, who eats off the other plate?
We both
Wait.
eat.
You got two hands there.
yeah, we do. We both.
You both?
both.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Who's more dramatic when they're sick?
yeah, watch him. It's always the man. It's always the man.
Hey, Anthony.
Baby.
Anthony. I ain't mad at you, brother. I ain't mad at you at all, brother. We be going through. We be going through.
Because they not even laying down,
You know,
so now they gotta lay down. They really dramatic.
Right.
You got to recharge, man.
Right.
Drama king.
Right. Now, who is the first to apologize? Anthony. Okay.
Well, who talks the most?
Toya.
Yeah. No, Anthony.
Anthony. You do?
Yeah.
Ooh,
He's
Y'all
always-
know that, did y'all?
He's always been a talker.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
always
I
been a
would have
talker.
said Toya. Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Everybody thinks it's her.
Everybody thinks it's
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I would have messed that one up.
Yeah, you missed it.
Only because I know Toya.
Well, I know.
longer than-
I know Anthony, so I know he can talk.
Okay.
He can talk.
They're like, yeah, he can talk.
I didn't know you felt that way.
Well, not in a bad way, but I know you can. You can present things. You can. So
Okay.
you can be a speaker. So I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You always meetings.
You
You
can talk.
always discussing things. You always putting things out there. So that's why I know he can talk.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
Ah.
nothing negative.
Right. No. Okay. So now, lastly, give us one word that you would describe that you would use to describe your marriage, and why would you use this word?
I would say
evolving.
Mm.
Yeah.
I would say evolving.
Definitely.
And it's like you said something earlier to that effect, like, this is not the same person from 20 years ago. So learning to love, and then learning to find new ways to love, and then, because the person is evolving, we're evolving, our marriage is evolving, this is just another level of, being in love. So
Wow.
I think I worded it how I wanted to, but that's the word I would use.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
Evolving.
good. I love
That's
that.
very good. Yeah.
Evolving.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would definitely. I mean, when you said it, I'm like, yeah, that's the season we're in. It's an evolution because, like you said, who I am at 49 is very different than I was at 27, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be able to love that person through all the phases and the stages.
Mhm.
And find new ways to love.
Yeah.
And so that's the evolution of our marriage right now, is we're evolving, we're learning, we're unlearning, right? Because there are also some things you got to unlearn in marriage. And so in that evolution, you unlearn, you learn, and then you keep going so that 20 more years down the line, we're still just as much as in love
Right.
as the first time we said I do.
Mm-hmm. You're loving a new person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Because
love
you were
that.
saying that you were in reset. You used that word a lot too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah,
That's very
I
good.
love that, because that analogy of evolving, because
Mhm.
we kind of talked about that a while ago. Because when you were 5 years old, it's totally different from when you were 18 years old,
Mhm.
and you're totally different from 18-year-old when you're 25 years old.
Mhm.
So
Right.
there's an evolution, there's a period of change that
Mhm,
you have to
mhm.
adjust to.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about you guys, being able to evolve, because because you never. I always tell people, you never master marriage,
Right.
because you constantly changing.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this was good, y'all. This was so good. And
Yes,
I
it was.
know I'm just gonna tell the listening audience, if you all have any questions for Latoya and Anthony, please put them in the comments, and we'll all be on to respond to your comments. Make sure that you like and share this broadcast. It's been so many different nuggets that have come up here. And I totally appreciate the both of you here. I mean, y'all have really
Thank
poured
you. Thank you
your
for
heart out.
having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, is
Glad
there
to-
any parting words that you would like to offer the listening audience, especially, I still have a heart for singles. What parting words of wisdom would you have for the singles?
You want to start?
I know it's been a long time, but
I mean, it has, but I will say I'll speak to single women. I'll
Mhm,
say that. Really make sure you work on you.
mhm.
I think that's going to be a really important factor when you're coming into a marriage, because you want to come in whole. You don't want to come in fragmented.
Yeah,
You don't want to come in this place of neediness, but you want to come in whole and come in with the thought process of, especially if you are in the kingdom, you're a Christian, I would tell you to ask the Lord, how can you be a demonstration of God's love to the person that God is bringing into your
that's
life?
very good.
Because that's essentially what you are going to be, a demonstration of God's love to your spouse. And that's a prayer that I'm praying. Lord, show me how to be a demonstration of your love to him. Why? Because he's God's son,
Yeah,
and God loves him. And so I want to make sure that I'm positioning myself so that when I come into a marriage, when you come into a marriage, you come in whole
that's
and
very
come in
good.
with God's plan.
Very good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Amen.
What would you
Yeah.
say?
Auntie, got any words for the men?
I would say, oh boy, be ready. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Get your big boys on.
As soon as this
Oh,
broadcast
that's
is
low.
Did I say everything you wanted me to say?
Yeah, you did.
But no, seriously, I would tell the men, actually, really, yes, be ready, because you may think you are going in one way, and you may think, like I said earlier, that you're not selfish, but there is a lot of growing and maturing that you can take on. If you open your eyes to understanding that this is a new level, marriage is a new level. It's different from, liking someone. It's different from dating. It's a whole new
Mhm.
level. And on that level, there are new challenges that you may think you're ready for, but um, your relationship with God is going to be important.
Yeah,
And as you have to deal with her according to knowledge, you'll get a
that's
lot of
very
that
good.
knowledge from
Mhm.
your relationship with God on what to do in certain situations and certain things that it may be unfamiliar, or maybe you haven't learned yet. It's going to take that relationship with God to understand, how do I move in this situation? How
Yeah,
do I deal with this situation and still show her, like, no, we're good. We're good.
yeah,
Now we
mhm,
may have to work through this. We may have to deal with this, but we're good.
yeah.
You don't want to let something become so big that it, can interrupt
Mhm.
interrupt your good thing,
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's what I would share.
Good
That's
job.
powerful.
Yeah.
He made up.
He made up.
That's
He
what
Made
made-
up for
Bring that thing home. Bring it home. No, I'm just kidding.
He brought it on home, but that both are powerful
Yeah,
statements,
it was.
and I
Yeah.
love that.
Mhm.
And like I said, this couple here, they got some wisdom,
Yeah, they got it. Yeah,
and
I love it.
and I love the way they work together, the way they love one another, and they're willing to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
And it's not a fake thing,
Mm-mm.
and because some people will fake it till you make it, but they truly love one another. They truly love, first and foremost, they truly love God,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is number one thing.
Yeah.
And then they love one another, and they demonstrate that. And it just, you can't be married 23 years.
Mhm. Two, but almost 23. It's what, July?
22 in July.
22 in
22
July.
Okay.
You can't
Okay.
be married that long and still together and not be able to understand one another and grow with one
Mm-hmm.
another. You can't, and knowing when you have to reset, like Latoya said, learn how to reset and do different things. And that's, what I want people to get out of this conversation we're having today.
Yeah.
That you're gonna have those issues. You're gonna have, God told you you're gonna go through trials and tribulation. He tells you that. So why are you surprised? Why are we surprised? He told us we're gonna have those.
Mm-hmm.
But he gives you an opportunity. He gives you a way to get out of that.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing about it, knowing that you're gonna have that, but he's giving you an avenue how to get out of it, how to give you tools, how to refine yourself, how to move forward. And they've learned that in the years they've been together, how to do that. So I love it.
So Anthony and Jerry got words, Toya.
They got bars over here. You know what I'm saying? They got bars over here.
I was sitting there Jerry myself.
I
Like, okay, Jerry.
I be seeing y'all. I love it. I'm like,
Right.
But that's why we love having couples like you all on here, that you can inspire, and you can encourage other couples and let them know. And a lot of things is, a lot of people think they're the only one going through these issues, and they're not.
Yeah, right.
And you're going through these issues, but you're showing how you can get through, how you can grow, how you can survive, and still be on one accord. So this is the great thing about this relationship. Even through all the struggles and things that you may have went through, but you're still committed.
Yeah.
You still have that covenant with one another.
That's the good thing.
So that's the good thing.
Yeah, that you're committed. Amen.
Amen. Let the church say amen.
Right. So you all, thanks once again. We do appreciate both of you coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this was a pure joy today. So
yay.
So we
have
really
us back now, you hear?
Yeah.
So once again, we want to thank you guys. We want to thank Anthony and Toya for joining us on this morning. And like I said, we pray that you guys got encouragement and some knowledge and some wisdom and some great nuggets from this conversation.
Yeah. Amen.
So, and go back and rewatch it.
And watch it again.
Rewatch it again.
Yes.
Because you're going to see something throughout this whole conversation.
You're going to hear something again. Yeah. So thank you all for coming on. We just like to thank the Bogards for coming on, joining us this morning. And thank you all for joining. And we do have a couple of announcements if you want to stay tuned for the announcement we have coming up. Okay? So thank you, Toya and Anthony. Appreciate you both.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay. Bye-bye. So you all, thank you for hanging in there. We want to tell you about our cruise coming up. We do have a cruise coming up, and I should have an announcement following this segment talking about the cruise with all the information. If you check out our Facebook page, you're going to see that we have the cruise September 26th through October 1st. We're flying out of Galveston, Texas. And we're on a cruise to Mexico, 5 days, 5 days. And so, it's going to be a blast. It's always a blast. And so, you are welcome and to come. Make sure you look at our Facebook page for all the information and the upcoming video that we have to show.
Yeah, and the theme is let's do it again.
Yep.
And last year's cruise was awesome. We had a wonderful time, and we know this is going to be just as awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So you all, thanks again for coming on, and we appreciate you. And that's it. Yeah, take care.
Take care, guys. Have a blessed day.
Got a card game to spark up the flame again. Reignite the fire with your lifelong friend. Love is a gift, straight from above.